Welcome to Control Engineering playlist. I, Professor Hitesh Dholakia, is going to explain you unit step response of second order system with underdamped case in this video. So here in this video, our input is unit step input and our agenda is to observe response of second order system, means output of second order system, provided underdamped case is there. So let me consider second order system where our input is R of S and my second order system, that is standard second order system, which is omega n square divided by s square plus 2 zeta omega n s plus omega n square, and my output is C of S. And in this system you see omega n, that is natural angular frequency, and zeta is damping constant. Now here in our case our input R of S, that is unit step. So for unit step input R of S, that is 1 by S, and in time domain R of t, that is 1 for t greater than or equal to 0, and that will be 0 for t less than 0. And here our case is there with underdamped case. So for underdamped system, value of zeta, that will be there in between 0 to 1. So for underdamped case, value of zeta, that is there in between 0 to 1. And our agenda is to identify response, means output, so that we can have based on transfer function of the system. So what is transfer function? Transfer function is a ratio of output to input. Here output is C of S and input is R of S, and that is transfer function, means this system, that is omega n square divided by s square plus 2 zeta omega n s plus omega n square. Now we will be identifying C of S. So C of S, that is R of S into this system, so that is omega n square divided by s square plus 2 zeta omega n s plus omega n square, where R of S, that is unit step input. So we can say this R of S, that is 1 by S, right? And this is our system where zeta belongs to 0 to 1. So I need to write this system again. Now I'll try to simplify this by having a partial fraction expansion, but that will be a bit lengthy process, and this simplification of C of S, that is bit easy. So I think you should do this, and I'll cross verify that even. See, this will be now 1 by S minus S plus 2 zeta omega n divided by s square plus 2 zeta omega n s plus omega n square. Now if you observe this term, then you see by cross multiplication over here it will be s square plus 2 zeta omega n s plus omega n square minus this s will get multiplied with this term, so minus s square minus 2 zeta omega n s, so s square and 2 zeta omega n s, that will get cancelled. So this term will be omega n square divided by s into s square plus 2 zeta omega n s plus omega n square. So that is this term only, right? Now I will try to further simplify this. So C of S, that is 1 by S minus S plus 2 zeta omega n divided by, I can rewrite this as per, you see, s square plus 2 zeta omega n s plus zeta square omega n square. So here plus omega n square minus zeta square omega n square, that I need to do, right? And you see this term will be 1 by S minus s plus 2 zeta omega n divided by this is s plus zeta omega n whole square plus omega n square into 1 minus zeta square that I can write. Now here I'll consider omega n square into 1 minus zeta square as omega d square, right? So let us consider omega d, that is omega n into square root of 1 minus zeta square. So if I consider this, then I can further rewrite this c of s, that is 1 by s minus s plus 2 zeta omega n divided by s plus zeta omega n square plus omega d square. Now before I go for further simplification, I want to explain you inverse Laplace of cosine term and sine term. So if you have cosine function cos of omega dt, then Laplace of that is s divided by s square plus omega d square. And as if you have e to the power minus zeta omega n t into cos of omega dt, then this will be s plus zeta omega n divided by s plus zeta omega n whole square plus omega d square in Laplace domain. And for sine Laplace transformation, sine of omega dt, that will be there in Laplace domain as omega d divided by s square plus omega d square. And if you have e to the power minus zeta omega n t into sine omega dt, then in Laplace domain it will be omega d divided by s plus zeta omega n whole square plus omega d square. Now by keeping these formulas in mind, we can further simplify this output. So you see now my output c of s, that is 1 by s minus, now you see what I'll be doing is I'll separate out this term in these terms. So minus of s plus zeta omega n that I am doing divided by s plus zeta omega n whole square plus omega d square, right? Now another minus that I need to do, and zeta omega n that I am having over here, right? And what I'll be doing is I'll be multiplying omega d and I'll be dividing omega d into s plus zeta omega n whole square plus omega d square. So you see this omega d will get cancelled and this will be 2 zeta omega n over here, right? Now we can have inverse Laplace of this. So let us apply inverse Laplace. So now my output, that is c of t, and this 1 by s, that is u of t, minus, you see, s plus zeta omega n divided by s plus zeta omega n whole square plus omega d square. So this is e to the power minus zeta omega n t into cos of omega dt, minus, you see, this omega d that we have considered, omega d is omega n into square root of 1 minus zeta square. So if you place omega d is omega n into square root of 1 minus zeta square, then omega n will get cancelled and this will be zeta divided by square root of 1 minus zeta square. And inverse Laplace of this, that is e to the power minus zeta omega n t into sine omega dt. So this will be e to the power minus zeta omega n t into sine of omega dt. Now let us further simplify this, and this term into u of t that we need to multiply, don't forget that. Now if we further simplify this c of t, so that is, you see, now I am writing 1 u of t that I am taking common from entire term. So 1 minus, now see, from this two term I am taking e to the power minus zeta omega n t common, and if I take divide by square root of 1 minus zeta square common, then over here with this cos omega dt, I need to multiply 1 minus zeta square into cos of omega dt, and minus sign is common. So here inside that will be plus into zeta sine omega dt, and this term, that is complete term, into u of t that I need to write. So now I have this output c of t in time domain, and now I'll be going to further simplify this c of t in easier terms so that at last you can understand how to plot this c of t graphically. Now see, we have this function, right, and I want to further simplify this. So here, if you observe my previous video, which is based on nature of roots of second order system, then in that I have explained this is imaginary component and this is real component, and in that we were been having complex conjugate root for zeta belongs to 0 to 1, and in this if you observe real component, then that is zeta omega n minus zeta omega n, but by magnitude it is zeta omega n, and if you observe imaginary component, then that is omega n into square root of 1 minus zeta square. So if you see this triangle where this angle is theta, so here if you want to calculate tan theta, then tan theta is opposite, that is omega n into square root of 1 minus zeta square, and divide by adjacent, that is zeta omega n, where this omega n will get cancelled. So tan theta, now that will be square root of 1 minus zeta square divided by zeta. Now based on this we can have sin theta and cos theta. So if you see sin theta, then sin theta, that will be square root of 1 minus zeta square, and if you calculate cos theta, then that will be zeta, right. So that is how sin theta and cos theta that we can have, and now that sin theta and cos theta that we can place over here. So 1 minus square root of 1 minus zeta square, that will be sin theta, and this zeta, that is cos theta, that will be placing in this equation. So we can have c of t, that will be 1 minus e to the power minus zeta omega n t divided by square root of 1 minus zeta square into sin theta cos omega dt plus cos theta sin omega dt u of t. Now see this term, that is sin omega dt plus theta. So we can say 1 minus e to the power minus zeta omega n t divided by square root of 1 minus zeta square into sin of omega dt plus theta into u of t. So this is what our response of second order system if input is unit step. Now I'll be going to plot this response, so that will be giving you bit clear resolution how second order response is happening. So you see, I'm going to plot this step by step. So over here we have time, over here we have amplitude, here time is equals to 0, and if you observe our input, that is unit step input. So here magnitude is 1 and this is my input, unit step input, and let me plot response first and then I'll explain you how that is happening. So see, response is happening like this. right? And this response that is happening based on this exponential trajectory you see. So this trajectory that is decreasing exponentially, right? And that exponential trajectory that is based on upper bound and lower bound. Now see what is upper bound over here. So maximum value of sine that can be 1 and minimum value of sine that can be minus 1. So if maximum value of sine that is 1, then 1 minus e to the power minus zeta omega n t divided by square root of 1 minus zeta square, that is there, which will be lower bound. So this is what 1 minus e to the power minus zeta omega n t divided by square root of 1 minus zeta square, that is our lower bound, right? And that is happening at sine of this function omega dt plus theta that is equals to 1, and upper bound that is happening when sine of omega dt plus theta that is equals to minus 1. So upper bound that will be 1 plus e to the power minus zeta omega n t divided by square root of 1 minus zeta square, that happens, which is upper bound, and that is happening when this is equals to minus 1, right? So why I am plotting this upper bound and lower bound? The reason is our output that cannot go beyond this upper bound and lower bound, right? So that is what the case which I want to convey over here. And in next few videos you will be finding different parameters that we are deal with to calculate with second order response, where I'll explain you maximum peak overshoot, where I'll explain you rise time, where I'll explain you settling time. So all those definitions and derivation that we are deal with to do in next future videos. I hope that you have understood this video. Thank you so much for watching this video.